Hello, my name's Brett McDonald and I'm one of the teachers and educators here at Seiko Schools and Academies in London. Today what we're going to share with you is some of our ideas and our secrets on ways of styling hair. How to style hair creatively. When styling hair creatively, it's important to work with some product over the top of an already existing creative haircut. Here you can see our model has something shorter with a little bit of texture and movement, an ideal shape to work creatively with when working styling products to show some variation. So for me, creatively, the most common mistake that people make when styling their hair at home is over styling creative hair. They tend to look at magazines and see hair that's very big and very voluminous. This works great in a magazine or on an image, but when it's used at home, it can look over the top and too much. And this is where I'm going to share some secrets with you. So to begin, we blow dry the hair and get a nice finish onto the hair. From there, we can work with some styling products. So by introducing something like a wax, something that's not too heavy, and again, avoid oily products. These tend to weigh the hair down and make it look particularly tacky or over styled again. Start by working the product well into your hands first. This will avoid getting any clumps or lumps of styling product in the hair when working creatively with the shape. At this point, what I like to do is I like to work around the shape. So dragging or moving the product through the longer lengths of the hair. Again, avoiding over styling shorter areas, or again, crowns can sometimes become over styled. So working with something that's a little bit more textural through those longer lengths. And you'll notice I'm working almost with a crisscrossing pattern. This enables me to work the product through the hair and encourage more texture into the shape. At this point, what you can then need to do is start to step back from the work and start to assess the shape overall. This can be done by working with a compact in the bathroom, so looking in a compact and staring over your shoulder into the mirror, or just taking a good step back from your mirror at home and just assessing the shape a little bit more with distance. So looking at it from a distance, we start to then think about the shape that will work nicely for the face. Key areas where I think look good with movement are A, through the top, again in this style, working with this haircut, so a little bit more movement through the top, and then hair that wraps down and moves lightly through the face is also really nice. You can see I'm working with a comb to allow the hair to separate but still have a defined feel to it. What we don't want is the hair to look fluffy and puffy, to fly away. Small areas around the eye socket, you can work a little bit of the wax onto the tips of the fingers. And you can just work through that area, encouraging that shape there to still look smooth and refined. And again, on the back of the neck, the same idea. So a smoother, more refined feel in there, building up into a little bit more texture internally. So this is obviously one example that you can work with this shape, something that's a little bit looser, a little bit more pushed across. To dress it another way and show you a different way, what I'd like to do is I'd like to work with combing this out, and what we can work with is a fairly new product. This is what we like to call powdered products. So they're applied by shaking the powder into the hair. This gives you a natural, slightly softer feel, slightly more modern texture to the shape, but can be great, particularly in finer hair where you want to avoid, again, overuse of product or overuse of oily, sticky products. So working with a little bit of powder, we can encourage something that's slightly more exaggerated, slightly more creative. And again, it's important as well that you work with the haircut. So making sure that the shape or the overall style flows for that particular haircut. I would always recommend when you are in the salon, if you're having something slightly more creative, encourage your stylist or ask your stylist to show you different ways of approaching your hair at home. And that way they can teach you or show you the best ways to perhaps dress your haircut or your style that you've got. So a really good tip at home. Okay, so if you're working with something slightly more exaggerated and slightly larger, it's always good to fix it with a little bit of spray before you finish. So for me, just tipping the head over will enable the hair to swing free of the head. Just placing a little bit of spray in there, through the top, and then again, always just encouraging that shape to be observed from the side. So looking for fluidity in the shape, texture, and in this case, a style of fun or playfulness to the overall creative style. So something a little bit more fun, a little bit quirkier, and slightly more creative with the way that we've styled that. And that's how I would style hair creatively.